First of all, it's a guarantee like several countries have. For example, we know that, for example, the state of Qatar, it's ally of US without NATO. So Ukraine can be in the same status. So we should have such a deal with the United States of America, and quite possible that it could be not substitution of NATO, but at least it could be guaranteed before entering the NATO. Of course, the main guarantee for Ukraine it's our participation in North Atlantic bloc in NATO. But on the one hand, now Ukraine needs that for security guarantee. On the other hand, I think that it will be interesting to NATO that they received a country with experience of having war, because when some countries have understanding of what is war only in theory, it means that in practice they're not so effective. That's why Ukraine can be interesting addition, as for me, to NATO, that Ukraine constantly repeat. And of course, we understand skepticism of Donald Trump, actually as his predecessor Biden, about Ukrainian membership in NATO. And that for me is very funny when Russia accused US that US want to see Ukraine in NATO. As for me, US do their best not to see Ukraine in NATO, and we constantly hear statements that, oh, probably not now, probably in many, many years. Nevertheless, I think that US should change its philosophy, should understand that Ukraine in NATO, it will be good plus to that bloc. Furthermore, it should be pressure on European countries that they should spend more sources into Ukraine and into Ukraine victory, because one of the problem of current
Okay,
situation.
sir, as President Trump's special envoy Keith Kellogg works on a proposal to end this war, what role do you see the US playing in facilitating peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, sir?
First of all, preserve sanctions. At first, Donald Trump said that he eliminates some sanctions versus Russia, and this for me it's a big mistake. The United States of America should preserve this economical pressure on Russia because, Soviet Union disappeared not because someone attacked him. Soviet Union disappeared because the economy was not ready to preserve existence of that country. The same situation can be with Russia. I mean that there should be economic pressure in terms of sanctions, limitation of Russia to receive money from oil, gas, and other industries. They give the money to this war. And of course, I think that they should think about even more sanctions, as Kit Kellogg said, Mr. Trump envoy about Ukraine and Russia war, that he said that on 3 of 10, he estimate the current sanctions. That's why I think that should be more strict sanctions, first of all, about Russian oil production, about gray fleet, about working of IT companies, I mean companies that give software to Russian computers, smartphones. I think that they should little bit restricted. And
Okay, sir, given President Zelensky's firm stance on rejecting territorial concessions, how do you see the situation evolving regarding Ukraine's territorial integrity and any potential diplomatic solution at this point? And of course, considering Donald Trump's statement that Ukraine may be Russian someday.
As I said at the beginning, that is for me, it's crazy statement, but okay, we understand that Trump is a very emotional person, and we don't know what is hide by his statement, because several his statements, as for me, made specially to hide more serious questions that he discussed, and we discussed not the serious things, we discussed his statement. This, for example, about Gaza, is for me, it's just a special statement, just people not to think about more wider his talks about future situation between Israel and Iran and participation of US. But okay, it's the other question. As for current state, as for Ukraine, I mean, state of affairs, Ukraine says that we don't need Russian Kursk region. So we are ready to return to Russia this land, but we want to see our land in our hands. I understand that Russia controlled much serious territories compared to Ukraine that controlled small part of Kursk region. Nevertheless, as President Zelensky said today in his interview to The Guardian, we are ready for such change. We understand that hardly Russia agree on that. Nevertheless, it's our proposition that we don't pretend on the Kursk region. We are ready to return to Russia, but we expect Russia to return to us our lands. So there could be compromise.